Hello, I'm Jim Frazer, Vice President at ARC Advisory Group. Today I'm very pleased to have with me Shaun Johnston, Vice President of Consulting at Wood. Welcome, Shaun. How are you today?
Very well, thank you, Jim.
Edge technologies are a very hot topic. I understand you're involved in a variety of edge technologies and deployments. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So we've seen a big change in the industry. Over the last decade, there's been a big focus on digital transformation, really taking data from the base layers of automation right up onto the cloud using big data techniques to garner intelligence. I think what's happened recently, though, is people have kind of reflected on that and said, well, actually, we need autonomous operations, autonomous transformation. And that's really inflected and really said, well, hang on, if I've taken all my data up, I can't action on it necessarily at these higher levels. So I need to start garnering that intelligence at the cloud and bringing it back down to the edge to make that autonomous operations, the automatic responses. And that's really changed how we tackle these problems. We're now delivering much more complex architectures that say, I want to garner some intelligence at this level so I can action on it. So I don't think it's necessarily one or two solutions we're doing that are different on the edge. It's more the whole way we approach the problem now is much more edge focused in the solution space.
So that leads me very elegantly to my next question about AI and machine learning. What role do those two technologies play with each other and with your current efforts?
So I think machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, they play a huge part in what we do today, but I think they have a number of different roles. One key role is that they allow us to do things that we couldn't do before. So if I look at, say, predictive, prescriptive maintenance, where we're using these techniques really to drive the solution that previously doing with purely, say, physics-based models was very difficult. I think the second aspect, though, and maybe more importantly, is the effect that they have on the workflow. Over the last few years, we've seen a real standardization of using artificial intelligence in workflow, which has enabled us to effectively deliver complex solutions much quicker and being able to scale and not use SMEs and science projects anymore, but really deploying solutions with trained engineers at scale and delivering the same value, but at much lower cost and much lower schedule.
So how does this drive innovation and what does that mean to R&D budgets?
So in general, I suppose Wood, when it comes to R&D, we play a slightly nuanced role, and we've kind of matured our thinking in this space. There's a lot of innovation in the world right now with the whole digital transformation piece, the whole OPA, open process automation piece coming in, and the whole IT, OT convergence of business data with operational data. I think what Wood tries to say is, we'll innovate in these spaces, but really our role as a services provider to clients is to say, we're going to bring that innovation with our domain expertise, and we're going to use that to really identify the key innovations in the market that are going to support our clients, and then make sure we can bring that to them as really holistic packages. And that innovation is around, as I was mentioning earlier, point solutions, but also much wider architectures now where people are operationalizing all their data together. They're putting multiple point solutions on top of that architecture. And then with data flowing between those point solutions, we can really drive transformational differences for our clients. And it's those kind of innovations we just need to bring together really to suit our clients' needs.
That broad approach that you just so elegantly described today also includes sustainability, ESG issues, the energy transition. Can you describe some of those and your work in those areas?
Look, I mean, decarbonization, sustainability is so key to our clients. They've all got their ambitions publicly out there. So clearly we need to make sure that what we're doing is setting them up for success in that space. I think there's a number of aspects we work here. So we obviously have huge domain expertise in solving the problems that are causing emissions or increasing efficiency. So we apply that domain space together with our experience in understanding how our plants operate in terms of the operational technologies, in terms of the inspection techniques, and really bring that all together. Now, we've got methodologies around how we approach decarbonization and sustainability. We've also got some solutions which help our clients understand and visualize and see, and we work with a lot of our partners in that space as well. But really, when it comes down to it, we help them design sustainable pieces through digital technologies, understanding the carbon intensity of build through to what that plant will operate in terms of its emissions. But then also during operations, it's all our standard bits of kit, delivering process optimization, optimizing energy, delivering asset health, asset management solutions that avoid shutdowns and restarts, and allowing operators to actually operate a bit closer to the wind. So they're not using as much chemical, they're not using as much energy, but they're just really driving efficiency.
What challenges do you see, in particular challenges like workforce challenges?
There's no doubt that the industry is suffering from workforce challenges at the moment. And I suppose there's a number of different challenges in that space. We know we're losing experienced operators. We know that the workforce doesn't hang around in the same job for as long. So we're helping, I think, in a multitude of ways. Some of the really traditional ways through delivering solutions that help train operators with operator training systems, through to helping clients build up centers of excellence in new technologies that not just helps them in the way they operate, but also attracts talent because talent wants to be working in these new solutions. But I think the one key thing, again, is working towards that autonomous operational piece. Stop getting people doing things that we can automate so that they can start actually be focusing on the value part of their roles. I think that's a key driver for us at the moment.
Well, thank you, Shaun. This has been a truly fascinating discussion. Again, we've been speaking with Shaun Johnston, Vice President of Consulting at Wood from the UK. Thank you, Shaun.